Good evening, friends, and welcome. Today is a truly momentous occasion. Gather around the fireplace, make yourself nice and cozy, and join me as I tell you the tale of Aladdin. Once upon a time, there was a blue hedgehog.
I'm gonna say something that I'm sure is gonna shock the world. Sonic in the mid-2000s wasn't doing super hot. It was the 15th anniversary of Sonic, and Sega was gearing up to release their most ambitious game to date, a full-on reboot called simply Sonic the Hedgehog, nowadays commonly known as Sonic 06. It was releasing on PS3 and Xbox 360, and they were actually considering doing a Wii port as well. Opinions on Sonic 06 are not great, to say the least. It's commonly brought up as one of the worst Sonic games out there, but at least the music's good. What about that supposed Wii port? Well, Sega couldn't really get the game running well on the Wii, which, if they considered the PS3 and Xbox versions to be running well, yikes, so they decided to give Wii owners their own game, one that'd be a part of its own little series, based on various fairy tales and stories, aptly named the Sonic Storybook Collection. A grand collection of a whopping 2 games. So Sonic and the Secret Rings was released on February 20th, 2007 exclusively for the Nintendo Wii. What does happen when you cross well-known fairy tales with the Blue Blur himself? Let's find out. The game starts. Sonic is just hanging out at his house, a thing I honestly didn't even know he had, when he grabs this ring that's just sitting on his side table, and out pops Shara, the genie of the ring. Not lamp, ring. Didn't know they could do that. Shara tells Sonic that Eraser Jin, the genie of the lamp, has been wiping clean all the pages of the book she comes from, with his ultimate goal being to escape it and enter the real world, so it's up to Sonic and only Sonic to stop him. Sonic, being Sonic, of course agrees to help, and their grand adventure begins. It's not a super complicated plot, it's a Sonic game. I'm not gonna knock it for being super simple. Most of the story is told with these little illustrations with a few pre-rendered cutscenes interspersed throughout, and I honestly kinda like its art style. I would have preferred having a few more non-slideshow cutscenes, but I get it. It's a Wii game done somewhat quickly. They probably didn't have time to do something like in-engine cutscenes, which is probably for the best going off of 06's cutscenes. And it'd probably look weird considering Sonic in-game doesn't have a mouth, so the presentation for what it is fine. It's neat. I have run out of positive things to say about Sonic and the Secret Rings. The tutorial world, the lost prologue. Good to see we're sticking with the book motif here. Let's figure out how to play. You move the Wiimote left and right to go left or right, and Sonic runs forward on his own.
Oh no, it's a Wii game!
Yup, it's an early Wii title, which can only mean one thing. Motion controls for goddamn nearly everything. You hold the controller on its side and move left and right by tilting the Wiimote, homing attack by shifting forward the Wiimote, stop moving by tilting back the Wiimote, fly in jars by shaking the Wiimote, get launched out of a catapult by flinging the Wiimote, and it is also goddamn unresponsive. The few moves that aren't motion controlled might as well be. You got time break and speed break that you can use by pressing up or down on the D-pad. Speed break works. Sometimes. It just dashes you forward super fast. Sometimes you can go through enemies, sometimes you can't. Doesn't work on bottomless pits. And time break, I have no clue when you're actually supposed to use that. It slows everything down, so theoretically you can get by super fast obstacles, but it slows you down too. For what purpose? It doesn't help anything at all. It just makes it feel like you're purposefully lagging the game. You jump by pressing 2 on the controller, but if you thought it's as simple as that, oh boy, you can't just jump, silly. You have to wait for Sonic to skid to a stop, charge up his jump, and then actually do it by releasing the button. It is so hard to actually time any jumps because of this. It makes it feel like every level is the ice level. And speaking of levels, they're a mess in this game. And I have to clarify, in this game. Graphically, for a Wii game, it looks fine, nice even in some parts. I like the variety of locales you explore, from a desert town to a dinosaur jungle, didn't know that was part of Aladdin, to a pirate ship and more. The aesthetic of Secret Rings is not bad, it's the controls that ruin the level design. You are moving 90% how the game tells you to, with the other 10% being whatever the hell this is. It makes it so that there's no way to really explore, taking away a large part of why people like 3D Sonic levels. Sure, there's some times when you can take an alternate route that lasts all of 2 seconds, but all it does is reward you with rings, something that doesn't really matter in this game because there's no lives. It's on autopilot so much and it sucks. I'd like to explore these locations with proper controls, letting me freely move how I want, because otherwise it makes levels that could be really cool end up really frustrating. Not once did I ever think to myself anything but, this level was not built around these controls. It feels bad to play. And they know that! Why the f else would you have this pointless leveling system in a platformer? Every level you beat will reward you with experience points, leveling you up and unlocking new skills for you to use. These can range from having a more powerful backstep, starting a level with a set amount of rings, to better controls. Why would you ever do that? And no, I'm not joking. You can get a skill that makes moving left and right easier, a skill that makes jumping not drift as much, a skill that lets you use the homing attack faster, a skill that lets you move backwards. Why is any of this unlockable? Why is there a leveling system to begin with? It doesn't need to be here, just gradually give the players skills as they play, and don't lock better control behind it. So, back to the story. Sonic and Shara meet up with Eraser Jin, who tells them to gather 7 world rings so he can do something. It's never explained what they actually do. They supposedly bind the pages of the worlds in the Arabian Nights, but as for what they actually do once he gathers them all, I don't know, man. Sonic says you could open the gates of hell, which is not something I expected to hear from a Sonic game.
I can't even begin to imagine what having all 7 rings would do to someone. It might even open the gates of hell!
But Eraser Jin places a curse on Sonic, a flame that once it burns out will kill Sonic. There are so many unintentionally funny things in this game. The already mentioned Gates of Hell thing, Knuckles is Sinbad. What? Eraser Jin himself sounds like they just got some random dude on the dev team to voice him. It doesn't sound like what I expect professional voice acting to sound like at all.
You have gathered the 7 world rings for me. Have you not, Shara, my dear?
But that's the gist of it, as Sonic could go around all these levels collecting the world rings and doing borderline uncontrollable platforming, so you know, typical Sonic fare. Unlike other Sonic games though, where you run through levels act by act, Secret Rings has you doing missions. These can range from simply beating the level to collecting rings to my arch nemesis of this game. Beat Uhu to the goal. Uhu's this little blue light orb thing that you race to a certain part of the level. Racing in a Sonic game should be fun.
There are many problems with this.
So, first things first, controls. Wow, yeah, not great. Glad we established that. So how do you think it makes me feel that you need to be perfect for these levels? Uhu is an unstoppable god. If you thought you'd be able to just breeze by this little blue menace, you have a whole nother thing coming. Every jump, every movement you make needs to be 100% perfect, because if you aren't, you are going to lose. And it takes so many tries with these goddamn controls that can take upwards of half an hour to do these until the game decides to work and let you win.
Who the f is Uhu?
You know, if there's one thing I can usually count on a Sonic game for, it's the music. And honestly, it's not super great here. Tracks can range from just okay to ear-gratingly annoying in the case of 7 Rings in Hand. And even then, it's the fault of the game playing it so much. Open the game. Select a level. Finish a level. It's all 7 Rings in Hand and it's just the beginning part. I know it's all up to personal preference, but it's my least favorite part of the entire song. And it's so often. Other tracks like Who's Gonna Rock the Place are fine on their own, but sometimes levels can take a really long time to finish to the point where I'm just annoyed at the song. I want it to be over. So eventually you come to Eraser Jin's palace. It plays the same cutscene that plays if you wait on the title screen. Spoilers, I guess. And there's some really fun motion control spike dodging. And eventually you tackle Eraser Jin himself. The fight's annoying. There's such a small window of opportunity to hit him. I think you're supposed to use Time Break. It doesn't work. The fight doesn't look like it was finished, and then after that, you fight Eraser Jin's final form, of Layla Wa Layla.
Oh, okay.
And what else would you expect? Extremely poor motion controls that made me restart the fight over and over again. You beat Eraser Jin, wahoo! You create an endless amount of waste in the form of handkerchiefs, run off into the sunset and out of the book somehow, and just like that, you plagiarize the story. And that is Sonic and the Secret Rings.
Well, let's say you haven't had quite enough torture yet. Well, lucky for you, they put a party mode in this game for some reason. You ready, guys?
So let's see how the party games play.
Whoa! Whoa!
No.
And that ends the tale of Sonic and the Secret Rings. Thank you all very much for accompanying me on this wonderful adventure, and I hope you all support me in my future endeavors as well, when I publish my very own video game, Aladdin and the— What the hell?!